Hi everybody, my name is Emmy. If you're tuning in for the first time, I welcome you to my YouTube channel, to my Facebook page. I have a very safe environment, I hope. I discuss topics that validate stories, that gives you permission to be who you are. I create a supportive environment. It's a space that is supposed to be supportive. It is a space where we encourage each other, we build each other up. It's a space where I welcome stories and I welcome everybody. And it's a space where we overcome our fears, we grow our courage. It's a wonderful space, and I hope that you will subscribe and I hope you will become part of my community. I appreciate everybody who has been following me since I started making these videos in February. I appreciate you very much. So this is my personal lab. I experiment on topics and then I look for like-minded people who would like to grow, who would like to build each other up. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So we started a conversation and I started talking about courage. And I borrowed a definition of courage from a book. And it says that courage is the will to move forward in spite of feeling the fear. So we all have fears. I have my fears. One of my fears is public speaking, and that's how I started creating these videos. So even though I'm not speaking in front of people, you, my listener, are a people. I am putting myself out there. So I have that fear, and this is just like the first step towards overcoming that fear or starving that fear. What are your fears and what are you doing about it? So the definition of courage is the will to move forward. So I am asking you, I'm encouraging you to move forward or have the will to move forward. The fear is always going to be there. If you wait for fear to go away so that you can start doing the things that you want to do, it might never go away. It's always going to be there. So all you need to do is move forward. Have the will to move forward to do the things that you want to do. And I broke down the components of the things that hinder us from living courageously. And this is the fourth week. We are discussing this and I'm going to wrap this up. So one more thing that I'll add to the conversation. One thing that would help us live courageously is creating a personal identity. So if you're like me, you probably grew up in a society, a collective society. And collective societies rarely encourages individuality. So personal identity is looking at self. So we are all introjects of our parents. We are all introjects of society. So society defines who we are. They cover up roles for us as women, as men, what a man should do, what a man should not do. And then we are also introjects of our families. Families define who they are. So you will hear people say, in our family we don't do this, or they cover up roles based on gender or, whatever. They cover up roles. And we found ourselves in those families. We found ourselves in those societies. So I don't know, do you like the person that society has produced? Do you like the role that your society has assigned you? Do you like the role that your family has assigned you or by default you've become? If you don't, this conversation is for you. So creating a personal identity requires courage. And creating a personal identity is listening to yourself, listening and creating your own beliefs, creating your own values, and living by them, and having the courage to stand up and protect those values. So if you're also like me, you probably were very influenced by your teachers. I went to boarding school when I was in 4th grade. Oh my goodness. You know, teachers and then fellow students, older students, would define who you are. You know, they would bully you. Some of them would love you. So you're probably influenced by influenced by substitutes of parents. So if you don't like the person that was created by substitute of your parents, then I'm inviting you to discover who you are. To discover who you are. If you do pray like I do, you probably pray a prayer like this, like God bless me. So in order for God to bless you, there gotta be a you for God to bless, right? So I am having this conversation and encouraging you to build a you, discover a you, create a you, and maintain a you. And I know that it is never an easy task to do that because we have all our comfort levels. One of the fears that we might have is moving away from the pack, moving away from our cliques. And we might have the fear that if you create a new self, you will be rejected, the fear of rejection. So if you're afraid of to be rejected, I would like to tell you that life is like a marathon race. There's always packs. So when you move away from one pack, you join another. So if that pack is going to reject you based on your new beliefs and based on building something stronger or dreaming bigger than they are dreaming, if they cannot contain who you are, don't worry. Move away from the pack. You will meet another pack ahead of you who are ready to accept you. So in every side of rejection, there is someone waiting to accept you. In every hate, there is somebody else who's waiting to love you. There's always another side of life. So do not be afraid. So this conversation is to encourage you to build a self. And I know sometimes we can get lost in roles. Like in Kenya, for instance. If you are, I don't know in other countries, in Kenya, if you're a mother, they call you, you lose your name. They call you by your son or your child's name. So they call you, if you have a child called Sharon, they call you Mama Sharon. And you no longer introduce yourself as you. You're always saying, I am Mama so and so. And it is possible to get lost in those roles. It is possible to get lost in the role of a mother, in the role of a teacher, in the role of our jobs. So I'm asking you, when you're not a mother, when you're not a teacher, who are you? Create a self. And then so that God can have a you to bless. And so that you can live a courageous life. So, what are your fears? I'll ask you. Are you waiting for those fears to go away? They'll never go away if you're not courageous, if you don't feed your faith, if you don't feed your courage. Feed your courage, feed your faith, so that your fears may diminish. I am feeding my faith by creating these videos. I am putting myself out here. There's a possibility that nobody may watch, there's a possibility that people may not watch this video. And I am creating it anyway, knowing that there's a possibility to be rejected, there's a possibility not to be accepted, there's a possibility to be judged unfavorably. But the more I create these videos, or the more I do what I want to do, the more I am building my courage, and the more my faith is diminishing. So in this conversation, I hope you get one point: to have the courage to create a self. It is okay to create a self and to live courageously. Okay? So I hope that was helpful, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching this video until the end. If you have any comments, if you want to judge me, go ahead and write me. Comment below this video. I am so okay with that. I have really overcome I have overcome the fear of being judged. I am really in a good place. So I know there are people out there who will judge me, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because your values and your views are valid, and so are mine. So I welcome you to judge me. I really do. But I hope in creating these videos you find something to connect, you find something that I can teach you, you find something helpful. That is my goal, to help you. My goal is to be useful. So until next time, I would like to thank you for tuning in. Have a very blessed week, people. Bye bye.